I've called you here today is to explain why a state of general emergency has been called by the woolly military. As you may already know, a great catastrophe has befallen us that threatens to destroy our very woolly way of life. Bubsy Bobcat! Bubsy Bobcat is on Rayon!
We'll all be bopped!
Settle down! Settle down! Calm down! No one's going to be bopped on my watch!
How could this have happened?
Well, that's a bit of a long story, but here's the abridged version, approved for public dispersal by their Royal Highnesses, Queens Polly and Esther. Our magnificent queens devised an ingenious plan to steal all the wool balls of Earth, but they were foiled by the fiendish Bubsy Bobcat. Now, our queens have developed an even more ingenious, if such a thing is possible, invasion plan. Unfortunately, they needed to get the furball out of the picture! Woohoo! So a crack troop of woolly commandos were sent to Earth. There, they fought bravely and captured the hideous beast! Due in no small part to my brilliant tactical leadership. On the return trip, due to a slight technical difficulty, the rocket carrying the beast crashed and the Bobcat escaped! Woohoo! Now, if you see the Bobcat, do not, I repeat, do not approach it! It can be extremely dangerous when frightened by the average woolly! Report its whereabouts immediately to the nearest woolly soldier. We have stationed nose blowers and rock throwers throughout the area around the crash site. We anticipate having recaptured the creature in 2 shakes of a dogfish's tail. Any questions?
What does it want? What did we ever do to it?
We have our best people in woolly intelligence working on that right now. So far, all we know is that the creature's plan somehow revolves around collecting atoms and rockets. What it plans to do with these useless yet abundant natural resources, we have no idea. Our best scientists have been stumped by that very question for decades, and all they've come up with so far is a spacecraft capable of interstellar travel. Why would this interest the furry fiend? Oh, again, we have no idea. Now then, I advise all citizens to remain in their homes until further notice. This meeting is...
I should have taken that left turn at Uranus! Was it something I said? What could possibly go wrong?
Introduction. So you want to be a video game star, huh? Well, you've come to the right place, buddy. Trapped a gajillion miles from Earth with no... Let's start that again. So you want to be a video game... So you want to be a video... What the... just turn this down so I can read. After all, don't want me to be distracted. So you want to be a video game star, huh? Well, you've come to the right place, buddy. Trapped a gajillion miles from Earth with no way to get home, you've got to get Bubsy through 16 levels of alien weirdness, find enough rocket pieces to get back to terra firma, and defeat the combined strength of the entire woolly military. I was about to say army. No sweat, right? Well, if you need any help, read on! And there's a bunch of demos here. Ah, how nice. I get to see more. I get to see more. Woo! How do you do that? Oxygen? Just as long as you don't get sidetracked. Starting up. Let me guess. You already know how to make your game go, right? Well, just in case you don't know, your reset button on your controller, this section is for you, baby. Just always going to turn off the audio because my headset does not give me feedback to how my voice is to the, audio. It can be kind of distracting, actually. Okay. Step 1. Set up your PlayStation trademark game console according to the instructions in the hardware manual. What, you haven't done this already? Well, get hopping. It feels like only the starter page, feels like only the first 3 pages are the only ones with not Bubsy's personality. Go figure. Intriguing. I'm learning a lot just from the demos. Step 2. Press the open button on your PlayStation trademark game console. If possible, use your fingers for this rather than a sharp pointed stick. Yes, that would be a good idea. Step 3. Stop using the Bubsy 3D CD as a chew toy and place it in the PlayStation trademark game console. Black side up. Just kidding. Put it in picture side up. Really. Yeah, you want to put in picture side up. Oh, the aesthetics of the other side are super intriguing. Yes. You gotta love that every few seconds there is a new demo. How many demos did they record here? I guess only a few. Fair enough. I'll just silence this as I keep watching this as reference for the actual Let's Play. I will be Let's Playing this, but so far it doesn't look that bad. Or at least as the demo seems to be showing. Maybe more manual can tell me more of its ancient secrets. Step 4. Close the disc cover on the PlayStation trademark game console and make sure a controller is plugged in. Step 5. Press power and away we go! Menu screens. Title screen, load save screen, option screen, level select screen. Fair enough. Okay, somehow you managed to turn the game on. You watched the intro movie and were feeling pretty good about yourself until you hit the menu screens. Don't worry, it's not all that bad. Here's a quick rundown on the part of the game that's not a game, parentheses, or something like that, end of parentheses, colon. Should I keep specifying parentheses and not? I don't know if it matters. Oh well. Title. Not much to do here. Press up or down to choose whether or not you want a 1 or 2 player game, square to load a game, or type in a password, or circle to go to the options screen. Fair enough. I mean, this was an early PlayStation game, so I would expect to be using the password like Crash Bandicoot. Load save. You've got a few options here. I was going to say you've a few options here, but no, you've got a few options here. You've got a few options here. You can save or load a game off of your first or second memory card, or you can type in a password. See save/load/password on page 9 for more info. We'll get to that soon enough. Options. On this screen, you can adjust the volume for that game's music and sound effects. You can change your controller configuration. You can even silence Bubsy, denying him the opportunity to share his pearls of wisdom. Level select. When you actually start the game, you'll come here. You can use the directional buttons to choose which level you want to play, but you can only visit levels you've already been to. X will start that level, and triangle will quit the game. Like you'd ever want to do that. Levels that you can play are lit up. All others are dimmed out. Holding down the select button and then pressing and holding down the start button for 2 seconds will return you to the title screen. Holding down the select button and then pressing that and holding down. Okay then. Controls! C3 for controller illustration. I don't think you can see that. I kind of wish they put more demos in this game. Oh well, we're gonna keep seeing. You're gonna be seeing those for a little while. Not that you're gonna be really hearing them. You're just gonna keep watching them in glorious 1080p 60. Soon enough, it'll be 4K, not 1080p 60. Nothing wrong with 1080p 60, but you know, I just want to get the best for YouTube. With the best recording that, well, is available at the moment. It could go up to like 8K. Wow! But I can't. I wish, but I can't do that right now. Oh well. So soon enough. Get what you can get. Just that's the thing. Woo! Oh, jumping on them like a pro. I see. Whoever was doing these demos was certainly doing it well enough. Whee! Anyway, more controls. You want to get Bubsy going. You press this button, the up button. He'll take off running like he's a video game character or something. The longer you hold up, the faster he'll go. Miss something? Want to back up and grab it? Hold this to walk backwards. Hold the down button, that is. Or tap it to hop backwards. Look at him hopping. Look at him, air quote, him hop. Look at him hopping, air quote. Him, air quote, him hopping, end of air quote. Only it's like apostrophe, him hopping, end of apostrophe. I forgot what it means. Whoops. I hope you get the idea at least. It's like an air quote, but it's only one little apostrophe. I forgot what it was. Oops. Isn't he cute? left. Surprise! Hold this to make Bubsy turn left. The longer you hold it, the faster he'll turn. Right. Guess what? Hold this to make Bubsy turn right. The longer you hold it, the faster he turns. Select. When the game is paused, press this to quit the level. Why'd you ever want to quit playing Bubsy 3Ds Beyond Us? But to each is his own. I love that they put that in there. But to each his own. I like that they wrote that. I'm getting too amused reading this manual. Start! You'll never believe this. Pressing start pauses the game! Square! Now this is the fun stuff. Hold this button when you walk up to an atom. Bubsy will grab it, and you can aim it at your enemies using the left and right buttons. When you let go of square, you'll shoot the atom. But don't go holding on to them atoms too long. They'll blow up in your face. Which would make sense, I guess. Triangle. Up, up, and away! Hitting triangle makes Bubsy glide, which gets Bubsy more distance than a jump, but less height. When Bubsy's underwater, triangle turns Bubsy into a bobcat torpedo that'll pop any bad guy's bubble. Just keep an eye on that O2 meter. X. Well, it wouldn't be much of a platform game if you couldn't jump now, would it? That would make sense, actually. Most platformers, or at least, I think, essentially every platformer would be considered, including jump. Like, it's certainly a staple, although there's, like, some might try to argue otherwise, but let's not get into that argument today. Basically saying it wouldn't be much of a platform game if you couldn't jump. And let's just go with that for now. So we've provided you with the X button, just so you can go hippity-hoppity down the Bobcat trail. When you're underwater, though, you'll find this button makes Bubsy swim up. Circle. Press this to duck under stuff. Believe me, you'll be ducking a lot if you know what's good for you. Those woolies will be throwing everything except for the kitchen sink at you, you know. Remember, when you're swimming underwater, you can't duck, so this button will make you swim down. L2 and R2. Use these buttons to move Bubsy left or right without facing him in one of those directions. Some games call this strafing, but we prefer to use the more precise term side hopping. What a term! L1. If you hold this button, you can use the directional buttons to move the camera around and get a good look. When you let go of L1, Bubsy will turn to face that direction, unless he's underwater, that is. R1. Bubsy not moving fast enough for you? Press this to go turbo! Actions! Look at that wacky bobcat go! He slices! He dices! He comes with an optional 42-piece spatula set! Okay, now how much would you pay? But wait, there's more! Not only do you get the... Okay, you caught me. Bubsy's not really the second coming in household appliances, but he's a neato bobcat. Check these moves out. Seriously, who was writing this manual? I'm getting too amused to read this. Jumping! You think Bubsy's jumping is no big deal? Well, why don't you try jumping more than twice your own height? Go ahead, Smarty, I dare ya! Who can do that? I mean, as you can clearly see in the demo, he jumps pretty high, actually. Okay. Gliding. It's commonly known in scientific circles that a bobcat's natural ability to glide is rivaled only by squirrels that wear old leather pilots' helmets. If you ever come to a chasm and you don't think a regular jump will make it across, gliding it gliding might give you those few extra feet you need. Shooting atoms. This is a little more unique. You want to take out woolies without messing your fur? Well, then, grab a nearby atom and shoot it their way. See controls page 6. We were already there. We're on page 7 right now. But always remember, if you shoot an atom and miss, you may find yourself looking down the wrong end of a collection of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Swimming. Wait a minute. I just realized something. I hope I'm... Of course.
Of course. I was still on my manly voice for the Terminator video that I was making. Oops. Oh well, hope it's at least hilarious. After all, ever since that birthday stream with Capitalist, I have since, hopefully, found the perfect match of audio and live commentary. 50 on live commentary and 100% on game audio. Hopefully, this will work. But the only thing is that it's kind of a little jarring when I'm talking and I get no feedback. My headset does not give me feedback to work with the game audio, so it can be kind of jarring. It's like I'm talking, but I'm always feel like my ears are being drowned out. So yeah, that for me it's quite jarring, actually. But anyway, swimming. But I'm not starting over. I don't want to start over. I want to keep this sense of blindness going on. I mean, before I started this recording section, I only read the pages 4 and 5, just to get a feel for the manual. The 3, 2, 1, and the, I guess, prelude page that are the one's the table of contents, and 2 and 3 are just basic, setups with the PlayStation and the PlayStation controller. The prelude page is basically like, warning, read this before you use your PlayStation game console. That sort of thing. In the manuals. I should probably get some water. Oh, darn, I can't drink this water. That's in the demo. Why not? I really wish I could get some water. This is probably why people, when they're recording their videos, have at least some sort of beverage to, so they don't feel like their mouth is getting dry. Oh well. Swimming. Now, your average bobcat wouldn't be caught dead anywhere near a body of water, let alone at the bottom of an ocean. But Bubsy is no average bobcat. Every once in a while, he'll don a purloined diving suit and take a dip. In these levels, the controls change slightly. Pressing the jump X button makes Bubsy swim upwards. Pressing the duck circle button makes Bubsy dive. Pressing the glide triangle button makes Bubsy do his patented torpedo attack, which is cool. It deserves its own heading. Which is so cool, it deserves its own heading. Oh, I see the heading. And all the rest of the buttons stay the same. Dang you, notification sound effects. No, that's not of a certain other friend of mine. No. Well, why do you even say that for? Anyway, torpedo! When Bubsy is swimming and presses the glide triangle button, he momentarily turns himself into a high-speed torpedo, capable of popping any bad guy's trouble. When he's in torpedo mode, nothing can hurt him, but he does start burning through his air supply like nobody's business. I guess that keeps it from being broken. Fair enough. That actually is fair design right there. Unless the game has some sort of design that makes it utterly unfair, but I've yet to see that. Huh? Okay. Riding cars. Late in the game, there's a few levels where Bubsy feels the need for speed. He'll hop, every once in a while I need to, clear my throat. I have no water with me. He'll hop a passing rocket car and take off. When he's in a car, he can't steer it, but whenever another car comes near, he can hop out of his and catch a ride in a different direction. Remember, kids, don't try this at your local theme park. What words of wisdom. Looking around, you can hold the Look L1 button and press the directional buttons. The camera will pan all around Bubsy, letting you take a peek anywhere you want. Oh boy, there's I'm just looking. Apparently, okay, I'm just looking at other parts of the manual. Screen layout. Lives. The upper left corner of the screen. The number of, how many Bubsies you've got left. So there are multiple Bubsies? Atoms. The number of, the top middle portion of the screen. It doesn't say, top middle portion, actually. I'm just reading that because it's showing, a little picture, a little black and white picture of lives, atoms, hits, score, Anyway. Atoms! The number of atoms collected in the current level. Remember, there's 200 of them at every level. Hits. This shows how many more hits you can take before you lose a Bubsy. Watch it! Air. The lower right-hand corner of the screen we've seen in a demo. When you're underwater, you've only got a limited amount of O2, so always keep an eye peeled for an air tank. The air counter is located in the bottom right corner of the screen. Oh, now they mention it! When Bubsy is using air. Timer. Some of the power-ups in the game have a limited lifespan. That's what the timers is for. The timer, when it is actively tracking the use of a power-up, is located at the bottom center of the screen. Oh, why for the, first three options, but now the last two are the last two here are oh, now we'll mention them, because why not? Damage. Ouch! If at all possible, you should avoid getting hit by woolies, energy rings, zaps, tax audits, etc. Tax audits? Well, yeah, you don't want to be hit by those. But if you happen to dodge when you should have parried, here's the skinny on taking damage. Bubsy starts every level with 3 paw points. Every time Bubsy gets knocked down by an enemy, he loses 1 paw point. When he loses them all, that's it. Another life bites the dust. But if he has any extra paw points, he'll get back up and he'll have a shield to protect him from all the attacks for a few seconds. Pretty swell, huh? Running out of lives. Well, I'm sure it'll never happen to you, but some players may not be as good as the old hand-eye coordination at the old hand-eye coordination thing. So, when all the bad players run out of lives, again, I'm sure you would never have this problem. How considerate. How considerate of the manual. That was probably written by Bubsy. It is written in the personality of Bubsy. It is... hopefully you at least get what I'm getting at here. So when all the players run out of lives, again, I'm sure you would never have this problem. It's game over, man. Game over. You'll be taken back to the title screen, and you can resume your last saved game. So the moral of the story: save your game often. If you happen to blow it and lose all your lives without having saved, you can always try again. Hit air quote yes, end of air quote, on the continue screen to play from the level you are on. If you hit air quote no, end of air quote, your game will end and you will go back to the title screen. Save load passwords. Excuse me. That was a mini burp. Step 1. On the save load screen, use the directional buttons to move the highlight between load and save. I think I choked on some saliva there. Bear in mind, you can't save a game if you haven't started playing yet. Duh! Press X to make your choice. Yeah, that makes sense. Whatever. What was that random little thing there? Oh well. Step 2. If you choose load or save, use the directional buttons again. Boy, good thing there's directional buttons on that controller, huh? Huh? It wasn't that enthusiastic. To choose between memory cards 1 or 2, press X again. Step 3. Use the directional buttons again to choose a save slot from the top of the screen. Press X. If you're saving a game, the game info will be stored in that slot, and the... Okay, I'm just looking. Press X if you're saving a game, the game info will be stored in that slot, and the picture for that slot will be replaced with the icon for the highest level you've reached. Okay. I guess I'll see you in action then. If you're loading a game, you'll get a load successful message and be taken to the next level select screen. If you want to type in a password, move the highlight to the password line and when you come to the screen. Press X. Use the up and down buttons to change the letter in the highlighted column. Use the left and right buttons to move between the letters. When you've gotten the correct password or a secret code, hint, typed incorrectly, press X to activate it. Enemies! Oh boy! I mean, we've been only watching that for the past many minutes. Boy, just once, couldn't we have a video game where everybody gets along and there's a valuable moral lesson learned at the end? Hey, what am I thinking? Give people what they want Give the people what they want, I say! Give the people what they want, I say! And that means lots of bad guys! Bring them on! Woolies. Superman has Lex Luthor. Captain Kirk has the Klingon. Superman has Lex Luthor. I like that Captain Kirk and the Klingons are trademark. Like there's a little trademark symbol like TM. Why did they trademark those? I guess they're like, hey, Superman and Lex Luthor. They're so too common, but Captain Kirk and the Klingons. Yeah, we have to put TMs there. Then again, they put I was not expecting that. It's like, you would expect that for the... I'm not surprised with with like the PlayStation having a TM, because apparently this was also supposed to be a Sega Saturn game. Like this was also, the Sega Saturn was also supposed to get this game, but it was canceled. Like I think, if I read this correctly, it was completed but not published. I wonder why they didn't publish it. I mean, hey, if you have it ready, you might as well publish it. I'm just saying. Oh well. It's not like I would have played on the Sega Saturn if I could, but I don't have a Sega Saturn system. Thank thank the PlayStation 3 for having backwards compatibility. Like, really, they really wanted to really shoehorn that. Well, shoehorn's a bit much. It makes it sound so forced. They really wanted to incorporate backwards compatibility. They did that for the launch PlayStation model. Well, every model of the PlayStation 3 has backwards compatibility with regular PlayStation games. But with PS2 games, in terms of hardware-based backwards compatibility, only the launch models had this. I guess you could say it was a 3-in-1 console, I mean, it had its own unique format. There was the PlayStation 2 games and the PlayStation games, all in one console. Maybe that's why it was so $600 expensive. It was a 3-in-1 game, essentially. Game console, I meant to say. But whatever. Anyway, getting back to that. I'm just putting my hilarious little anecdotes in here. I'm having so much fun with this. Woolies! Superman has Lex Luthor, Captain Kirk has the Klingons, and Bubsy's got Woolies. Oi! Fortunately, a hero's stature is not affected by the stupidity of his nemesis. I think that's the right way to say it. Oh, Rhydon. Oh, Raydon! Woolies come in 4 flavors: rock throwers, nose blowers, swimmers, and helicopters. And, Wooies! I guess that's different. Wooies! Don't be fooled by their wobbly appearance. These weirdo woolly lookalikes pack quite a punch with their super-powered death ray sunglasses. How fearsome! Death ray sunglasses! Clambos. Or is it Clambos? Look out! They bite! Look out! They bite! But if you can catch them with a well-placed bop, they'll open up and give you a surprise. For better or worse. Screen gags. Don't look now, but we've given the blob some teeth. There's nothing these guys like more than to skulk around in the dark and gobble you up whole when you get too close. So I guess avoid them then? Okay. Kind of hard to... Wait, how am I saying kind of hard? I never even played this. Boop, 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 I'm running down the street. Wait, okay. Hummers. Not only will these guys poke you if you get too close, but they love to shoot you with blasts of sound. Talk about your sonic boom! Smart bombs! If a big target suddenly glues itself to you, start running, because not far behind is one of these bouncing bomb bad boys, and they love to blow up bobcats real good. If a big target... I wish I could show these on the screen. But all I have is this black and white image. Physical image, darn it. UFOs! As if being abducted by aliens wasn't bad enough, now Bubsy has to deal with these guys. Don't ever stand underneath one unless you want to get beamed up. Trampoline. Whee! No, I can do that back. Trampoline. Whee! 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 I could bounce on these guys all day! Boing! 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 Dogfish! Zoinks! These guys are basically fish scales with teeth! Big teeth! And like any good bloodhound, they'll chase you down till they take a bite out of Bubsy. Apparently, Zoinks isn't trademarked. Shaggy calls. He wants his statement of surprise back. And here's a little thing. Man, the manual's in good condition. Like, there's this kind of little accolade. It's kind of hard to... It's kind of weird. Like, accolade. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Except it's something that you can put in the mail. It even has like the the address where accolade is. Last name, first name, street address, city, zip, postal code, country, email address. On a scale of A to F, how would you rate this product? What kind of games interest you? Adventure, action, arcade, strategy, role-playing, sci-fi, simulation, educational, war, military, sports, others? Please be sure to check your mail for warranty information. This name. Okay. What factors influenced your purchase? Magazine review, magazine ads, salesperson, packaging, price, friend, rental, in-store display, received as gift, other. In what store was this purchased? Computer super, computer hardware, computer software, electronics, toy, department, record, bookstore, mail order, other. What systems do you own? IBM, PC, etc., Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, 3DO, PlayStation Game Console. I like that they put PlayStation Game Console. And not for the others. Atari Jaguar, Macintosh, other. Do you own a modem? Yes or no? Which online services do you use? America Online, ON-LINE, CompuServe, Internet, M-Play, M-Player, or is it M-Player? I don't know. 10, capitalized T-E-N. All letters are capitalized. And a little thing to send to Accolade in the post box. I wonder if this will still work. All product and corporate names or trademarks are registered trademarks of their respective owners. Back to enemies. Okay? Ripplers! You may not think Rippler, air quote, Rippler, end of air quote, is a good name for a starfish, but you'll change your mind after they rip through your last Bubsy. So I guess I have to be careful. Okay. Jingle worms, jingle worms, jingle... Wait, okay. Jingle worms! Jingle bells, jingle bells! See all those bells on their antenna? Too bad you're underwater. You can't hear them. Just keep swimming when you see one of these. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in the Bobcat in the Bubble. Bobcat in the Bubble. Okay. Whirly! Boy, talk about transparent enemy. What's this? What's this guy's problem? Every time you try to swim to the surface, he grabs you and pushes you down to the ocean floor. Every time you think you're out, he keeps pulling you back in. Nerd. This guy's pocket calculator is so powerful, even Bill Gates is jealous. Man, what's with all the jokes here? And with all those fireballs flying around, you can get a hot foot really fast. Woolly Mammoth! Look at him! Doesn't he have the cutest puppy dog eyes? And isn't it cute when he bellows and starts charging toward you and swinging his tail around to... Yikes! Maybe he's not so cute. And with that thick hide and those tusks, you won't be able to hurt him with a bop. So I guess I definitely avoid that enemy? Or maybe just some other way to defeat it? I guess so. Two-headed Wooly! Hey, we saw that. That looks familiar from the Wooly in the intro cutscene giving a lecture. As the guardian of the Queen's sanctum sanctorum, okay, this Wooly is trained in the ancient arts of Woo Fu, and he's so tall you'll have a hard time cracking those noggins. Polly and Esther. Rayon's two diva queens, the original woolly slaves to fashion, don't particularly like bobcats, except maybe as throw rugs. And those magic crowns they wear won't make Bubsy's job any easier when he confronts them in the game's Rayon-shattering climax. There's still more bad. Oh boy. I really would like a drink, please. But hey, at least I'm recording and I have to deal with PS3 shenanigans. Like, I really did have to deal with PS3 shenanigans this time. I was just very unprepared. I think it took me an hour just to... And most of it amounted to me just unplugging my USB thing. What are you gonna do? Oh well. At least it's working, and that's nice to see. And nice to see the game's working, too. Honestly, I feel eager to play it. But first, let me read more of the manual. Let me lay down a moment to at least get myself comfortable. Items. Items. Atoms are the #1 natural resource on the planet Rhydon. Excuse me. They're everywhere, and the Woolies have no idea what to do with them. But Bubsy does. He can grab them and shoot them like boomerangs. Boomerangs as enemies. See controls page 6. Okay, so that's what he was referring to when he said, "Beware if you miss." Fair enough. They act like boomerangs. Okay. Yeah, where was I? Okay. But just like boomerangs, those atoms will come right back at you if you don't hit anything. And Bubsy's pretty lousy at playing catch, if you know what I mean. I'll just take your word for it. I kind of blanked out there, like, bad at playing catch. Why would he be bad at playing catch? Am I missing something here? Whatever. 10 shots. Cool! This is like 10 atoms for the price of 1. After you get one of these guys, every time Bubsy presses the square button, it'll be just like he grabbed an atom to shoot. Every time the atom counter is located in the lower left of the on the screen. It will show the number of available shots every time the square button is pressed. One-ups! Yet another staple of every platform game since time began. Where would we be as a society without one-ups? Where would we be? I really like a drink, please. This is ridiculous. Where would we be as a society without one-ups, I ask? I dare not contemplate it. Invisibilities! When you grab one of these, Bubsy does a disappearing act. For 20 seconds, no bad guy will attack him. Now, this doesn't mean that Bubsy still can't get himself killed, but nobody will have it in for him. Invincibilities! As long as this power-up is in effect, 20 seconds, that is, Bubsy will be surrounded by a bolt of pure electricity. Anyone who messes with him at this point will definitely get the shock of his life. Rockets are Rhydon's #2 natural resource, right after atoms. They're all over the place. In fact, there's 2 in every level. Huh. If Bubsy finds them all, he's guaranteed a free ride back to Earth. You can still finish the game without getting them all. But Bubsy might find his trip home cut a little short. I wonder if this means if I get them all, there will be a special 100% ending. That'd be interesting, to say the least. Game objects. Question marks. You're going to find these in 2 places. If you see one sitting out in the open, touch it and you'll get some helpful hints. If it's sitting in the open mouth of a clambo, well, it's kind of like a box of chocolates. Say it with me. You never know what you're gonna get. That's in air quotes. Air quote. You never know what you're gonna get. End of air quote. Clambo. So danger hints. Oh, living on the edge. I can barely hold myself together. Well, I can, actually. But yet, I need to see how this game plays, and all I've been looking at was this demo. In fact, and even then, I've been reading the manual, not so much looking at the demo and the same thing, but it doesn't seem too bad. But so far, it doesn't seem too bad, just the usual. Usual footage being played, that is. Trampolines! These are nice! These are nice! Touch one and they'll show you a secret area. Now, figuring out how to get there, that's another matter. Fair enough. Arrows! Feeling lost? Have no idea where you are or where to go? Well, just look for the friendly arrow pointing your way at the end of the level. They'd never steer you wrong. Air tanks. These things are lying all over the place underwater. How convenient! When Bubsy touches one, he gets 100 seconds of sweet, sweet air. So keep your eyes peeled for them, or you may end up sleeping with the fishes. Rocket cars! Yeehaw! Bubsy just can't dive 65. Wait. Sorry. wrong thing. Bubsy just can't drive 65. When you're riding in these things, keep your eyes open for the next car to come along. Bubsy can jump from one car to the next to get to different areas. Not the best way to deal with rush hour, but what you're gonna do? Paddle creatures. If you're at point A and point B is on the other side of a river, you might want to look around for a paddle creature. When you let these guys out of their cages, they are always more than happy to ferry you from island to island. How nice. That's not in the manual, I just added that. Switches. Well, you can probably guess what these things do. Touch one to turn something on. Pretty simple, huh? Not quite so simple, actually. When you hit one of these switches, it might make a platform start to move, a wall disappear, a turbine change direction. You just never know. But rest assured, when you hit one of these things, somewhere in the level, something happens. Trust me! Trust me! Platforms! Now what would a platform game be without platforms? Pretty boring, that's what. Bubsy 3D has 4 different kinds of platforms. Regular. Nothing to see here, folks. Move on. Really, these are your normal garden variety platforms. Some move, some don't. That's about it. Shakers. When you jump on one of these, they start to shake. When they start to sink, when you jump on one of these, they start to shake. Then they start to sink. Okay. Wouldn't it just be too bad if you're standing on one of these for too long, say, over a pit of acid? Yeeoot! Conveyors! These guys move you. I'm just smelling something odd there, but that's not concern for you, viewers. Conveyors! These guys move you around at different speeds. You can always spot these because of the animated textures we slapped on them. Oops, slipped a technical term in there. Sorry, won't happen again. So they're animated textures? I've been lied to. Wait, I haven't been lied to. They haven't mentioned that before. I'm just being dramatic. Specials! These platforms make weird things happen, like warp you or give you useful information. Always be on the lookout for colored platforms, Grasshopper. When you can snatch the stone from my... Oh! Sorry, lost my mind for a second. Yes, that's another thing. Seriously, who was writing this? Don't worry, guys, there's only a few more pages left. Who stinks? Anyway. Propellers. Now, these guys are fun. If you glide over them, you'll get pushed up hundreds of feet into the air. Top of the world, Ma! Wait, I just want to make sure. I guess there's something else. This is literally page 14, and the last page was 13. Now I'm on 14, reading propellers. I guess it is. Guess there are propeller platforms. Okay, fair enough. Teleport arches. While they're not exactly the guardian at the edge of forever, they do get Bubsy around pretty quickly. Continue markers. Well, if you've played any platform game in the last millennium, I don't think they've been around that long, Bubsy, but whatever. Wait, since the... I feel like he made a reference. I feel like he made a time reference somewhere, like whatever. I think he made that millennium joke before. Whatever. I don't want to dwell too long. Well, if you've played any platform game in the last millennium, you must know what these are for. For all you newbies, though, after you touch one, if you die later in the level, you restart the marker instead of at the beginning of the level. Turbines! When you come across one of these underwater, you can be sure it's keeping you from something special. Why else would we put them in, except to keep players from the good stuff? Basically, they create such strong currents, Bubsy just can't swim against them. Muck. Why is it called muck? Don't ask, it's a long story. Suffice to say, you don't want to get anywhere near this stuff, or you'll be in for a shocking experience. Get it? Shocking? Come on, folks. Jokes don't come any funnier than that. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at something else. Okay. Willy heads! You'll find these in the final level. They'll always turn to face you and constantly blast you with noses. Don't bother bopping them, though, because they're just statues. Well, thank you for at least telling me to ignore them. Manual, always full of useful stuff. Or at least a fine detail or two. Bonus levels. Okay, here's the skinny on bonus levels. If you finish on any level, except the final one, with 100 or 150 or with 100 with 150 or more atoms, you'll go into a special bonus stage. Yippee! Your goal in bonus levels is to collect as many atoms and 1-ups as possible before time runs out. For every 10 atoms you collect, you earn another extra life. Neat, huh? There are two different kinds of bonus levels. Trampoline time, haha, TRAMP-O-LEAN. The T and the capital T RAM, capital T lowercase RAMP dash lowercase O, capital dash capital L LEAN, capital T TIME. Okay. That was more than it needed to be. Bounce around, collecting as many goodies as you can. But watch out for those helicopter waves. Touch one and it's all over. Come glide with me. In these huge rooms, there's plenty of stuff floating in the air for you to pick up. Be careful not to drown, or your chances for one-ups will be cut pretty short. Okay, so I can see where this is going. Deathmatch! Warning, the 2-player game requires 2 players, so you're probably going to have to stop playing video games for a little while so you can go out and make some friends. When you get a few, come on back and we'll pick up where we left off. Okay then. Oh good, you're back! Well, now that we have all the required components necessary for a 2-player game, you do have 2 controls plugged into your PlayStation trademark, right? We can commence with the festivities! Okay, first of all, this is pretty complicated. So to help explain the procedure, we're going to use some people that don't exist to make a few points. Those people are Bob and Fiji Zobo. Bob is player 1 and Fiji Zobo is player 2. Here we go. I like how they have one regular name and one name I never heard of before. Bob uses his controller to move Bubsy around the world like a normal player 1 game. Bob's goal is to collect as many points as he can, as quickly as he can. Fiji Zobo controls a big gun that's never shown on screen. Whenever Fiji Zobo wants, he can take a shot at Bubsy, who's controlled by Bob. If Fiji Zobo's shot hits Bubsy, Fiji Zobo gets to control the wacky Bobcat, and Bob now gets to use the gun. Kinda like tag, get it? Tag, get it? Kinda like tag, get it? So now Fiji Zobo gets to run around and earn as many points as possible before he loses control of Bubsy, since Bob will be taking more shots at Bubsy now, and so on and so on. When the level is over, the player who has earned the most points wins the match. Got it? Good. Here are some more specifics. Starting a 2-player game. From the title screen, use the directional buttons to highlight Deathmatch. Then press X to load why is there 2 spaces between the and 2-player, or whatever, 2-player level select screen. Here, I guess, slight typo, or is that a little joke they threw in there? Or whatever. Hey, here's 2-player. There you go. Here, you can choose which level you'll do battle on, and you can also visit the options screen to change the controller configs and whatnot. Once you've selected the level to play in, press X to start the contest. After the game is over, a tally screen will show how many points you've earned and declare the winner. That was a burp. Yeah. Special controls. In a 2-player game, controls for the Bubsy player are no different than normal, but for the shooting player, here's some new stuff to learn. When you want to take a shot at Bubsy, press and hold the square button. The screen will stick in one spot. The shooter can use the directional buttons to move the screen around to try to line up Bubsy in his sights. Let go of the square button to take a shot. When the shooter is trying to tag Bubsy, the player, another double space, or at least it looks like double space. Okay, the first one, the 2-player, does definitely look like a double space, but this one kind of looks more like a weird font. Let go of the square button to take a shot. When the shooter is trying to tag Bubsy, the player, yeah, that kind of definitely looks like a double space. The player controlling Bubsy should do the obvious thing. Get out of the way! If you hit Bubsy, you gain control of Bubsy. If you missed, the game will return to normal, and you can start planning your next shot. Earning more shots. Just in case you're a really bad shot and you keep missing Bubsy, there's a few ways for you to earn more shots. If you're out of shots and 10 seconds pass, you'll get 1 shot. Every time the Bubsy player takes a hit, you'll get 1 shot. Every time the Bubsy player picks up an M, you'll get, repeat it with me, 1 shot. 4 atoms, huh? My throw is killing me a bit, huh? Protecting yourself from shots. If you're the Bubsy player, there are a couple of ways you can defend yourself from shots. If you have an invincibility power-up, you can't be shot. If you have a shield up after you're hit by a woolly, for instance, you can't be shot. Hints! Always be on the lookout for walls that are colored differently than their surroundings. I'll bet you dollars to donuts that those walls can be shot down with atoms. Be sure to duck every once in a while. Woolies are so stupid. They'll keep shooting where your head used to be. Floors with a black and white checkerboard pattern teleport you elsewhere when you land on them. Just like real life. Huh. Is it? Or is that a reference to something else? I don't know. If you see a woolly totem pole, there's probably a good reason it's there. Remember the order of the colors. When you're riding in cars, keep an eye peeled for stop signs. When a car hits one, it blows up real good. It's usually a good idea to jump out before then. After you've grabbed some precious life-giving oxygen from underwater air tanks, the tanks replenish themselves over time. In short, you can often come back and get more air. How nice! How nice and forgiving game design! It's pretty obvious, but I'd rather mention this anyway. You can jump farther from a running jump than from a standing jump. Well, thank you at least for clarifying that. That's always nice. Kind of weird that the hints comes right after, the 2-player section. For a second I was thinking, is this the 2-player section? No, it actually is for any, I would guess, even single player. In the 2-player game, don't forget that you can shoot through walls. Always grab these. Sorry. Always grab those items. Why do I keep saying? Feel like I'm trying to say items or something. Always grab those atoms. Sorry, I wasn't even looking. Always grab those atoms. 50 gets you an extra pop point. 50 gets you an extra pop point. 100 gets you an extra life. 150 gets you into a bonus round. And 200 gets you extra time in the bonus round. Woo! I had the woo. You can also earn lives and pop points for score, so keep racking it up. Every 40,000 gets you a pop point, and every 100,000 gets you extra life. Gets you and extra life. What? Boy, are we good to you players or what? I'm still, baffled. And every 100,000 gets you and extra life. Oops. A bit of a typo there. Whatever. Use the heat from the nerds' fire bombs to glide up and bop him. Okay. Bop the woolly mammoth when he flips over. This will cause the crowd of woolly spectators to boo and throw their banana peels. Make the woolly mammoth slide on the peels. Wow, thank you for telling me how to defeat enemies. For more hints and tips, check out the Bubsy 3D strategy guide available from Dimension Publishing. Huh. And here are customers one. How nice! There's like a little there's a little credits thing. Producer. Oh, the little credits thing. For Bubsy 3D hints and tips, call Accolade Direct and $99. No, not $99. 99 cents a minute. If you're under 18, please get your parents' permission before making this call. This game was conceived and developed by Eidetic Incorporated, a small group of insane and talented people living in Bend, Oregon. These dedicated gamers love making games for other gamers and specialize in making state-of-the-art products. And there's special thanks to I'll mention them at the end. I'll mention them at the end of my Let's Play. And at the back, there's a little advertisement, I guess, for Pitball, the only sport in the 23rd century. Huh. In the original, there wasn't. Although, I forget, like there's something I want to say. I'll just put this, first I'll put this thing back. This little manual. Yes, this is what I was recalling. Like, I wanted to, you see, when I bought the game, the one I got was the one with the Gold X Award cover art on it, not the one that's without the Gold X Award. And on the back, it should have said something like, with underwater sections like Mario 64. In this version, the only where it's by PS Extreme. In this version, also by PS Extreme, but it was replaced the previous one. One of the sleeper hits of 96, an experience that no action/platform gamer should miss. Well, I suppose that is okay, you don't need to keep doing this anymore. But anyway, yeah. Oh boy, what a recording session. Didn't realize it would take that long, but I'm glad I got this out at least. Sorry for my slightly deeper voice earlier, but that was for a school project. But with that said, thank you for... Can I end this? Oh yeah, I can. But with that said, thank you all for watching, and see you for my actual Let's Play very soon later on. So, have a nice day!